Good morning, my dear students. Let me first introduce myself. I'm Renzo Taglian. I will be your teacher for today's topic. So, since we've already talked about the previous topic about Rizal's life, education, and trip on abroad, today we're going to talk about the exile, trial, and death of Rizal. Rizal exile in Dapitan started when Rizal decided to go back to his motherland, which is the Philippines, after his trip in Europe. When Rizal arrived here in the Philippines, umani ng napakaraming ingay dahil sa kanyang kasikatan. Kasikatan. And according to him, it was very sensational when he arrived because he was popular not only for the Filipinos but also to the Spaniards. Why? Bakit siya naging sikat? Dahil siya ay isang Pilipino na nakapag-aral sa ibang bansa, matalino, sumali sa iba't ibang organisasyon at nakapagsulat ng isang nobela na ang nilalaman ay nakaabot na yung ingay sa Pilipinas, lalo na sa mga Kastila at Praile. Kumbaga, batchat na si Rizal sa mga Kastila at ngayon bumabalik siya sa kanyang minamahal na bayan ng Pilipinas at talaga namang gumawa siya ng ingay. Now, when Rizal arrived here in the Philippines, siya ay binabantayan ng mga Kastila. They were really looking for something na pwedeng maibubutas sa kanya. Hindi kasi naman pwedeng hulihin at akusahan siya about his novel na Noli Me Tangere. Because the way he wrote this novel, it is very indirect and napaka-metaphoric. Kumbaga, sumisimbolo lamang siya sa mga kalupitan at maling pamamalakad ng mga Kastila at Praile. That is why they really waiting for a perfect time para hulihin si Rizal. Yes, the Noli Me Tangere ay nakalusot at nakapasok dito sa Pilipinas dahil sa tulong ng isang tao na taga Hong Kong na ang apelyido ay Basa. The historian says that Basa helps to smuggle and export the novel Noli Me Tangere here in the Philippines nang hindi nalalaman ng mga Kastila. So it was June 26, 1892 when Rizal arrived here in Philippines. And on July 3, 1892, gaya ng kanyang plano, Rizal established the Liga Pilipina. The goal of this organization is for the promotion of reforms para sa kanyang minamahal na bayan ng Pilipinas, hindi para gamitin sa isang revolusyon. When Rizal established the Liga Pilipina sa bahay ni Doroteo Ohongko in Tondo, Manila. So, umabot ang balita sa mga Spaniards or sa mga Kastila na si Rizal ay nagtayo o nagtatag ng isang organisasyon na ito. 4 days after Rizal established the Liga Pilipina, siya ay hinuli sa 4 na kaso. Una, nagsulat si Rizal ng mga libro at articles na anti-Catholic and anti-friars. Pangalawa, may kopya si Rizal ng pamphlet na ang title ay Pobres Frailes. Ang Pobres Frailes, it is a fictional story tungkol sa mga Dominican friars na nagkukurap sa mga naghihirap and mga asawa ng mga balo Pilipino, yung mga paring Dominicans daw nag-encourage sa mga mahihirap at mga balo yung mga namatayan ng asawa na mag-invest sa bangko hanggang sa mag-lead ito sa korupsyon. Pangatlo, because of the writings of Rizal, specifically the Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo. Of course, it was already read by the Spaniards, and this novel El Filibusterismo was dedicated by Rizal to the three Combursa, knowing the fact that the Combursa was popular to the Spaniards in the past because they were a Filipino priest na pinaghihinalaan na nagtraidor sa Espanya. So nalaman ng mga Kastila na ang nobelang El Filibusterismo ay dinedicate or inspired by the Combursa at naging inspirasyon ni Rizal upang gawin ang nobelang ito. Pang-apat, kinikriticize daw ni Rizal ang reliyon at ang simbahang Katolika. And according to Rizal, ang gusto daw ng mga Spaniards na mailayo ng reliyon ang kultura ng mga Pilipino sa mga Pilipino. So the aim of the religion, natanggalin ang Filipino culture. These are the 4 reasons why Rizal excelled in Dapitan. Si Rizal ay hinatulan na magstay for a certain number of years sa Dapitan. Nakarating si Rizal sa Dapitan ng bandang gabi at siya ay sinalubong ng mga Spanish guards. As sa kanya pagdating, the Spanish guards are very kind. Naging mabuti naman ang pagtrato nila kay Rizal at hindi sila naging malupit kay Rizal. Ang nagdala kay Rizal sa Dapitan na ang pangalan ng barkong pandagat ay Cebu. May dalawa siyang nakilala. Sila ay sina Father Pablo Pastels and Father Antonio Obac. It was July 17, 1892 when Rizal arrived in Dapitan. Yung pinatapon si Rizal sa Dapitan, the punishment was he needs to stay in Dapitan for 4 years. Rizal was placed under the supervision of Captain Ricardo Carnicero. He is a politico-military commander of Dapitan. when when Rizal arrived in Dapitan, he was welcomed by Captain Carnicero and give him a 2 options where he wishes to stay. First, if he wants to stay at the convent with Father Antonio Ovac, or he wants to stay at the house of Captain Carnicero. Captain Carnicero said to Rizal, "Ginoong Rizal, saan nyo pong gustong manirahan? Gusto nyo po bang magstay dito sa akin sa headquarters? Or doon po sa kumbento kasama si Father Obac?" While nag-uusap ang dalawa, biglang dumating si Father Obac. Father Obac said to Rizal, "Tatanggapin kita patirahin sa kumbento sa mga kondisyon na ito. Una, you must retract all your Masonic beliefs. Bawiin mo lahat ng mga masamang na sinabi mo sa Noli Me Tangere at El Filibusterismo at sa lahat ng pagtutol mo sa simbahang Katolika at pamahalaan ng Espanya. Second and third, you must participate in the church rites and conduct yourself as a good Spanish subject and a man of religion. Bumalik ka sa pagiging Katoliko." As you can remember, tumalikod si Rizal sa pagiging Katoliko at sumali sa isang organisasyon na ang pangalan ay Mason. But it doesn't mean na si Rizal ay anti-Christ. Kung baga, lumayo lang siya sa pamamalakad ng relihiyon. Pero, nandiyan pa rin ang kanyang paniniwala sa Diyos. So, Rizal respond to Father Obac with regards of Father Obac's condition. Rizal said, "Padre Obac, pasensya na po, pero dito po ako maninirahan kay Ginoong Carnicero." So, if we're going to describe Carnicero, according to Rizal, napakabuti daw ng kapitan or ng leader na ito. Hindi niya trinato si Rizal na parang bilanggo sa Dapitan. Although Captain Carnicero received Rizal as a prisoner, but both of them enjoyed each other companies and they become really good friends. Sabi ni Carnicero kay Rizal, "Ginoong Rizal, hindi po kayo isang bilanggo lang, kundi kayo po ay isa kong bisita. Now, si Carnicero ay isa ring kapitan. Siya ay pinakamataas na Spanish official sa isla ng Dapitan. Dahil nga napakabuti ni Carnicero, during his birthday, ginawan siya ni Rizal ng isang tula as gift. As a gift, and during his time, kapag ginawan ka ng isang tula, ay isa na itong malaking pribilehiyo. So, as a return, Captain Carnicero allowed Rizal to have his freedom and to go anywhere as long as within the premises of the town, in Dapitan only. Kahit saan, as long as hindi lalabas si Rizal sa bayan ng Dapitan, may freedom si Rizal kahit saan siyang gustong pumunta. Now, si Rizal ay naging okay naman sa Dapitan. Naging mapayapa, naging masaya, at nakapagtayo ng isang klinika na i-practice niya ang kanyang profesyon na doktor at nakapaggamot siya ng may sakit. Of course, nung una nahirapan siya because he was not with his family. Hindi naman pinayagan yung family niya para bisitahin siya. Nabanggit rin ng story na si Rizal ay tumataya rin sa loto. Captain Carnicero and Rizal betted in a lottery. May isang barko na ang pangalan ay Butuan ay nagdala ng balita na si Rizal ay nanalo ng loto. Siya ay nanalo ng higit 20 million pesos. The ticket number of Rizal is 9736. Rizal shares. He bought a land nearby. He built a house and schools and even accepted students kahit walang perang pambayad tuition. Isa sa naging kondisyon ni Rizal sa mga estudyante kung maaaring pwedeng tumulong sa household chores. Other part of his house was used for eye clinic. Visually, his patient is from Luzon and Hong Kong, and other information na dito raw sa Dapitan na gamot ni Rizal ang kanyang mother's eyesight na si Doña Teodora Alonzo. And lastly, he built the house for ladies and families who can visit him in Dapitan. Yes, I've already mentioned it earlier na hindi inalaw ng kanyang pamilya para bisitahin siya. But also, with the help of Don Carnicero or Captain Carnicero, he wrote a letter to the Governor General requesting to allow the family of Rizal to visit him in Dapitan. And it was granted naman. Nakadalaw ang family ni Rizal sa Dapitan. On May 4, 1893, napalitan si Captain Carnicero. He was replaced by Captain Juan Sitges. Captain Sitges did want to live with a depart. Ayaw niya na may kasama siya. Therefore, he assigned Rizal to live in a house that is near in the headquarters and ordered Rizal to appear to him 3 times a week. Nagdaan ng ilang linggo, nag-iba ang ihip ng hangin. Nag-iba ang attitude ni Sitges. What he did is that he restored all the privileges that Rizal enjoyed during Captain Carnicero's term. Habang sa Dapitan si Rizal, the Catholic Church ay hindi tumigil i-convince si Rizal to retract and bawiin ang lahat ng sinabi niya against the Spaniards, government, and church. They even sent to Dapitan his former professor at Ateneo, Father Francisco de Paula Sanchez, to convince Rizal to retract. However, nagmatigas pa rin si Rizal sa kanyang paniniwala at pinanindigan pa rin ni Rizal. What is retraction? Ito ay pagbawi ng mga sinabi ni Rizal against the Spanish government and friars. When Rizal was in Dapitan, he kept himself busy. After acquainting himself with the surroundings, he began to make some improvements. He helped to clean up the plaza of Dapitan. He even light up at night the coconut lamps, because during the time of Rizal in Dapitan, During the time of Rizal in Dapitan, Dapitan does not have access to the electricity. Rizal had many contributions in Dapitan. That contribution of Rizal in Dapitan will be discussed by my other members of the group or the next reporter. While Rizal is on Dapitan, there are still time for love. Rizal fell in love with an 18-year-old girl, Irish girl, Josephine Bracken. Josephine Bracken is the daughter of George Taffer, na naging pasyente ni Rizal. However, hindi pabor si George Taffer kay Rizal para kay Josephine Bracken, at pinagbantaan ni George Taffer if magkatuluyan sila ni Rizal at ni Josephine Bracken ay magsisuicide ito. Gusto magpakasal ni Rizal at Josephine Bracken sa church, kaya lang tumanggi si Father Oba. And guess what? Bago niya basbasan ang dalawa, nagbigay na naman siya ng kondisyon kay Rizal that he needs to retract his beliefs, but without the benefits of matrimony, the couple considered themselves as married. Without the blessing of the church, Rizal and Josephine Bracken considered themselves married. Relatives and friends of Rizal ay tutol at hindi pabor kay Josephine Bracken. Why? Dahil pinaghinalaan si Josephine Bracken ay isang espiya galing sa mga praile. Bakit kaya silang nagsuspetsya kay Josephine Bracken? Si Josephine Bracken and her stepfather, George Taffer, ay galing sa Hong Kong. They heard the news that there is one person named Jose Rizal na magaling na doktor galing sa Philippines. They visited Dapitan and approached Rizal to cure George Taffer's eyes. Knowing the fact that they are foreigners, they need a tour guide, kaya nagsama sila ng isang tour guide, and she was Manuela Orlac. Manuela Orlac ang naging dahilan kung bakit nagsuspetsya ang kapatid ni Rizal kay Josephine Bracken. Dahil si Manuela Orlac was very close to the friars, kaya nag-conclude sila na baka spy sila ng mga Spaniards. And additional with that, dito na natin malalaman kung gaano kadesperado ang mga Spaniards or Spanish authority kay Rizal. Rizal had many visitors in Dapitan. One of these whom is a spy of the friars named Pablo Mercado, who posed as Rizal's relatives. His real name was Florencio Manaan. Namaan. Siya ay nagpapanggap na kamag-anak ni Rizal at sinabi niya kay Rizal, Senyor Rizal, ako ay yung kamag-anak. Kung meron kayong sulat na gustong ipadala, ipagkatiwala nyo po sa akin. Ako na po ang bahala. According to the historians, Florencio Namaan ay pinadala ng mga Spaniards sa Dapitan upang patayin si Rizal. At sinabi naman ng iba, pinadala siya hindi para patayin si Rizal, kundi obserbahan at maging spiya kay Rizal. But you know what? Florencio Namaan managed to escape. Nakatakas siya. And another visitor of Rizal was Pio Valenzuela.
Sino naman to si Pio Valenzuela? Si Pio Valenzuela, he was a missionary of Andres Bonifacio. Siya ay pinadala sa Dapitan sa special mission. During that time, Andres Bonifacio was the Supremo of the Katipunan. Pio Valenzuela went there to ask for an advice of Rizal on how to launch their planned revolution against Spain. Other thing, they offered to assist Rizal, of course, with the help of Katipunan on escaping from the Dapitan. Tutulungan nila si Rizal upang makatakas sa Dapitan. But Rizal objected to their plan, citing the following reasons. Number one is the revolutionary must have enough arms and weapons to fight against Spaniards. And second, launch a revolution, they need to have support to the rich and middle class dahil sila ay may kaya at may pera at may malaking ambag sa supply at armas at sandata. Third, the revolution must led by educated people. Sila tong mga tao na nakapag-aral, nakapagtapos ng pag-aaral. Sila ay tinatawag na ilustrados. And lastly, he advised to make Antonio Luna as their general and a leader of the revolution. Dahil si Antonio Luna ay kilala bilang magaling na general at magaling sa pagkikipagdigma. At sinabi rin ni Rizal kay Pio Valenzuela ay itigil nyo ang plano na ito dahil maraming inosente ang madadamay. Lastly, na tinanong ni Pio Valenzuela kay Rizal kung gusto niya bang tumakas sa Dapitan. Ang sagot ni Rizal, he would like to honor his words to the Spaniards before the exile in Dapitan. And dagdag ni Rizal, kung gusto kong tumakas, sana matagal ko na tong ginawa. Tinanong siya ni Valenzuela, what if the revolution has begun? And the Spaniards naturally suspect you as the cause. And Rizal responds, alam ko kung paano ko pangangalagaan ang sarili ko. Yung mga revolutionary at katipuneros ang dapat mag-alala sa pwedeng mangyari kahit nan sa kanilang gagawin. By the way, nakalusot at nakapasok si Pio Valenzuela sa Dapitan dahil kay Ramon Dumata. Isinama ni Pio Valenzuela si Ramon Dumata. Si Ramon Dumata ay isa ring siyang may sakit sa mata at magpapagumot kay Rizal. At makalusot sa Dapitan without knowing ng mga Spanish guards. Aside sa magpapagamot siya kay Rizal, may hidden purpose rin siya sa pagpapapuntad. Nung tumanggi si Rizal sa pag-uusap nilang ni Pio Valenzuela, ay umalis rin sila agad. Unfortunately, hindi rin nagamot si Ramon Dumata. Now, dito na papasok yung second trip ni Rizal sa ibang bansa. Yes, meron pangalawang trip si Rizal sa ibang bansa. So, tumagal ng ilang araw nabalitaan ni Rizal na may revolutionary or revolution at epidemic sa Cuba. So Rizal sent a letter to Governor General Ramon Blanco requesting na gusto niyang maging volunteer as a doctor sa Cuba. Dumating during that time, tapos na yung 4 years na punishment sa kanya na magstay sa dapitan. Sa tagal ng pagstay ni Rizal sa dapitan, in turn out na pagmahal na ng mga taga-dapitan si Rizal. Kaya nalungkot rin sila nung nalaman nila aalis na si Rizal sa dapitan. In fact, maraming contribution si Rizal sa dapitan during nagstay si Rizal doon sa dapitan. So, the one that will tackle about that contribution of Rizal will be the next reporter. So, as a continuation, no? Ngayon naman, naaprubahan na ang letter ni Rizal at pinagbigyan rin siya na maging volunteer sa Cuba, as a doctor sa Cuba. At midnight that day, umalis na si Rizal. Sakay sa steamer at a steamer boat na ang pangalan ay Espanya. So, it is the second trip of Rizal sa ibang bansa. His first trip on abroad ay para sa bakasyon at ipagpatuloy ang kanyang edukasyon. Pero yung second trip ni Rizal sa ibang bansa ay hindi na naging meaningful nung pumunta siya sa ibang bansa. That is all for my report. The next report will discuss the contribution of Rizal while he is on the dapitan. So thank you very much.